Welcome back to TYT Sports. Francis and Jason here with you. 3 big stories, and we're jumping right into them. The first is an interesting swipe between 2 shoe companies with 2 stars that represent 2 different shoe companies on the same team. Kevin Durant takes a swipe at Under Armour. This was yesterday, according to Bleacher Report and a few other reports. Kevin Durant says that nobody wants to play in Under Armours. And what's so interesting about this to me right off the bat is his 2-time MVP teammate likes to play in Under Armours. But there's a bigger theme to this entire, I don't want to call it a beef just yet. Kevin Durant's been very outspoken on Twitter this entire summer. He's taking no holds bar. He's going after fans who dislike him for his move to Golden State. He's going after personalities like Britt McHenry. He's taking no prisoners in terms of his social media game this summer. When Kevin Durant started to get into this, I wanted to at least read the quote from Bleacher Report first, because again, what strikes me as the craziest part of all this is he plays with Steph Curry. But there's got to be another motive for this. So we'll get to that quote, and then we'll move into some more discussion. Shoe companies have a real big influence on where these kids go, Durant said via Josh Stern of 24/7 Sports. Nobody wants to play in Under Armours. I'm sorry, the top kids don't, because they all play in Nike. Everybody knows that. Nobody wants to play in Under Armour shoes. They just don't want to say nothing. But the kids that play, that grow up in an Under Armour system, they go to Maryland, hence the sponsorship or the partnership between University of Maryland and Under Armour. Francis.
Maybe they just don't like how ugly Under Armour shoes are.
You're not a fan of the Steph Curry, I'm sorry, of the
nurse shoes?
Not just the nurse shoes, they had many names, if you remember. The I'm late for dropping my kids off at school 4s.
I'm gonna wear my phone on my belt when there's a pocket right there. 5s.
The 5s.
Yeah.
See, I was a fan of the 4s, with the 4s. In general, though, do you think that, is this just a side of Kevin Durant that we haven't, or the media hasn't really seen? Is this his personality shining through? Does he feel more comfortable talking on social media and airing this kind of information in interviews? Because I can't really recall this version of Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City.
I feel like he's just taking less shit, and I feel like it's just he's been outspoken in the past, but not to the extent where he's consistently speaking out on matters that you would expect him to just let go. Like calling out people who wear Under Armour shoes doesn't seem like it should be a big thing in the offseason, but maybe he's just understanding that journalists like us, or not journalists like us, but sports presenters want more shite to talk about. So he's just giving us that. I mean, I think if you think that Steph Curry is going to take offense to this, then you're absolutely ridiculous. He's going to probably laugh it off, and they'll give each other shit when it goes to. I mean, is his statement inaccurate? Probably not. Most kids who play basketball do want to wear Nike. Like, Under Armour has made a surge, I get it. And we've talked about their brand message, which I think has been targeted in a very intelligent way. Rather than being a competitor with Adidas and Nike, they've kind of just wanted to formulate their own ideology, as in overcome those obstacles, be the underdog, be the undersized athlete like a Steph Curry who is able to go on and redefine the game. And I love that about them. So I think that they're doing just fine. Their stock looks great. Whether Kevin Durant comes out and says that players don't want to play in it, I don't think it's overtly true that someone wouldn't want to play for a team because they don't want to wear Under Armour shoes. I just think that Nike has a big draw. When you associate Nike with basketball, you associate it with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Like, it just has more star power to it. It's not an inaccurate statement.
It's a wider umbrella, especially when it comes down to the partnerships that they have, and Jordan Brand being a subsidiary, or if that's the correct word for their relationship with Nike, and just how long it's been around. Interestingly, though, where Nike succeeds in shoe sales, which is far and away still the best. So yes, Kevin Durant was correct in terms of most people want to play in Nikes. Additionally, Under Armour succeeds more in apparel sales. That's kind of what, according to the Motley Fool, that's what they're getting a lot of their revenue based on. And that's how Under Armour, I remember Under Armour starting, was you must protect this house ads, the awesome gear that you can wear, like underneath, if you play football or basketball, underneath your jersey, underneath your whatever it might be in any sport. It was the most comfortable stuff around. And now everybody has. You know, Nike has their air breathing technology that you can, no sweat, cold gear, warm gear, desert temperature gear, sub-zero Arctic gear. You can play it, and they make it in that way so you can protect yourself from in general, like Cam Newton has on top of a flak jacket, who's an Under Armour sponsored athlete, if I'm correct. He also has like the flak jacket like gear underneath his padding. So it's what Under Armour did to revolutionize just comfort, I would think, in sports, Nike's always been able to do in terms of shoe sales. They were always one step ahead with the heel lock technology in the Kobe Bryant shoes, even though if you talk to some, like TYT's own J.R. Jackson, he said, I'll never play in low-cut shoes. For basketball, it seems like it makes no sense. So they kind of revolutionized the comfort of playing in a basketball shoe, whereas Under Armour revolutionized the comfort of playing in just your gear.
Under Armour did with Under Armour what you associate with, like, I don't know, like a Kleenex. You say, I'm gonna go and get a Kleenex, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a Kleenex brand, you're just gonna grab a tissue. So when I would associate underwear, like with what I'd wear underneath my sports apparel, whatever, even if it was Nike or Adidas, we would just call it Under Armour. I don't know if that's the same all over, but in Scotland, I'd be like, I've forgotten, I'd call my mum up, I'd be like, I forgot my Under Armour. And she would just look for like
she would bring you tidy whities.
She'd bring me my tidy whities and whatever else went. So they were absolutely right. I think this went into like a branding idea, and we just saluted that both of these brands. That's why I don't think they're equatable. I just don't see them as equatable.
They are in competition.
Like I almost feel like, no, they're in competition, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like they have clearly different brand messages. I think Adidas and Nike are more equatable because they, like Adidas, they branched off and now they're more like lifestyle. That's the everyone.
But they had to because of Nike.
Because Nike has controlled the market in every aspect of sports. It's just it epitomizes what sports is. So I feel like smart brands like Under Armour just didn't want to go directly head to head and had their own sort of branch to it. Like, okay, we'll do Under Armour first, and then we'll help. Maybe we'll lift up athletes that can be looked at as idols of getting to a position in amidst doubt. Whereas Nike have been like the celebrity go-to of those that are gifted, and you're going to be
I just associate always with Nike. For me, it's been Kobe Bryant's shoes because I grew up with them. So I mean, Michael, of course, but I was on the younger end. And then even more so, Tiger Woods Sunday Red.